Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Chosen Lifelines for Men. My name is Walter Jennings from Chosen Life Specialists, where we have been called to challenge and, if necessary, change the motivation, mentality, and mettle of men. Today, I want to spend a couple of minutes talking with you about the motivation of competence. Now, the American Psychological Association defines competence motivation as the drive to interact effectively with the environment and develop personal skill and capability in solving problems and performing tasks. Such mastery being reinforced by a sense of control and positive self-esteem. So this is a motivation that is encouraged by the growth and the expansion of the knowledge and the ability to be able to expand your skill set and your capabilities. Now, I want to share with you 4 quick tips to encourage motivation in competence. Number 1 is seek tasks that are personally interesting to you. So in order to oftentimes continue stoking the fire of your motivation, that involves things that you are passionate about or interested in. Now, normally, if you're interested in something, it is usually something that you don't know a whole lot about or everything about, but it is something that you would like to learn more about. So this actually allows you to feed your motivational side, but also it feeds your inquisitive, challenging side, because most of the things that you are going to engage in that you're interested in are going to challenge you in a way that either your mindset or your skill set or both of them will be cultivated. Tip number 2 is to filter feedback. So when you are growing your competence, there is going to be a learning curve. Sometimes that learning curve is low, sometimes that learning curve is higher, and sometimes it may take a little longer to develop competence and proficiency in a specific task or a project, or especially depending on how sophisticated it is, it may be a specific discipline. So it's important that as you get feedback, not to take it personally in a way that is going to turn you off from your pursuit of competence in that particular area. So, as some of the elders like to say, one of the phrases that we oftentimes use is chew the meat, spit out the bones. So that means to ingest those things that are going to be helpful to you in your process, and those things that may be deemed as a criticism that is a personal affront or attack on your character or your personality. You want to weed those things out and make sure that you're focused on harnessing the information that's going to help you grow in your competence. Number 3, pursue tasks that are moderately and appropriately challenging. That means that you want to be honest and forthright with yourself about your degree of challenge that you are ready for. So that means you want to be very prudent and mindful and slow with engaging those new challenges as it relates to pushing for competence in those areas. You want to be mindful of how many of those challenges that you take on, so that you don't become overwhelmed with trying to develop a myriad of different skill sets at the same time if you are a person that's challenged with multitasking. So being very honest with yourself about your process is going to be very important in helping to grow your competency. And number 4, encourage mastery, skill development, and the learning process. So while you are growing your skill set, you also want to make sure that you continue to cultivate that, but to embrace the learning process and the procedure in which you've been able to gain those skills, because it will ultimately allow you to embrace and to recognize your learning style. What are some of the best ways, or what are the effective methods that help you to actually retain information or to develop that skill set? So not just focusing on the end goal as it relates to getting to that point, but making sure that you are taking inventory along the way of all of the things along the path that help you to become proficient in what it is that you've learned. I want to end this session with a very powerful quote from Chris Hadfield, who is a retired astronaut, engineer, and fighter pilot from Canada. And as it relates to competence, Astronaut Hatfield says competence means keeping your head in a crisis, sticking to a task even when it seems hopeless, and improvising good solutions to tough problems even when every second counts. It encompasses ingenuity, determination, and being prepared for anything. Astronauts have these qualities not because we're smarter than everyone else, but it's because we are taught to view the world and ourselves differently. My shorthand for it is thinking like an astronaut, but you don't have to go to space to learn to do that. It's mostly a matter of changing your perspective, being able to utilize different positions and being willing to look at things from a different way is an important part of helping to increase and grow your competency. Thank you all so much for tuning in to Chosen Life for Men. My name is Walter Jennings. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and visit us at Chosen Life Specialists. Book a session. We'd love to talk and share with you more about helping to build your competency. Again, my name is Walter Jennings from Chosen Life Specialists, where we have been called to challenge and, if necessary, change the motivation, mentality, and mettle of men.